The Otero Family, January 15, 1974. Dennis Rader committed his first murders on January 15, 1974, killing 4 members of the Otero family in their Wichita home: Joseph Otero Sr., his wife Julie, their son Joseph Jr., and daughter Josephine. The family had been living in Wichita for less than 6 months, and Julie had worked at Coleman Company, where Rader also worked. Rader broke into the house in the early morning after cutting the phone lines. He expected to find Julie and the 2 younger children home alone, but was surprised to find Joseph Otero still there. Using a gun, he told the family he was a wanted criminal who needed food, money, and a car, then forced them into a bedroom where he bound them with cord cut from Venetian blinds. He strangled Julie Otero first, but she only passed out, so he had to strangle her again. He placed a plastic bag over Joseph Otero's head and tied it with cord. Young Joseph Jr. was suffocated and strangled. Rader then took 11-year-old Josephine to the basement, told her she would go to heaven with the rest of your family, and hanged her from a pipe, masturbating as he watched her die. Charlie Otero, 15, along with his siblings Danny and Carmen, discovered the bodies when they returned home from school that afternoon. Genetic material was found at the scene, though none of the victims had been assaulted. In October 1974, Rader sent a letter to the Wichita Eagle taking responsibility for the incidents and saying, "The code words for me will be bind them, torture them, end them, BTK. Katherine Bright, April 4, 1974. 3 months after the Otero murders, on April 4, 1974, Rader targeted 21-year-old Katherine Bright, who also worked at Coleman Company. He broke into her home through a sliding glass door and waited for her to arrive. Rader had been stalking Bright and planned what he called Project Lights Out, but he didn't know her 19-year-old brother Kevin also lived there. When both siblings arrived home, he confronted them with a gun and bound them. Kevin managed to fight back despite being shot twice in the head, and he escaped to get help. During the struggle, Rader stabbed Katherine Bright multiple times in her abdomen. She died from her wounds 5 hours later at the hospital. Kevin survived and provided police with a description of the attacker, but the case went cold. Shirley Vian, March 17, 1977. After 3 years of silence, Rader killed again on March 17, 1977. His victim was 24-year-old Shirley Vian, a mother of 3 young children. Rader had been trolling through a neighborhood when he encountered Vian's 5-year-old son, Steve Relford, and followed him home. Posing as a private detective, Rader showed Steve a picture and asked if he could identify it, which allowed him to gain entry to the house. Once inside, he pulled a gun and locked the 3 children in the bathroom. Rader told Vian he had a problem and needed to tie her up. He gave her a glass of water and smoked a cigarette with her to calm her down. While the children screamed in the locked bathroom, Rader tied up Vian and ended her life with a cord. He left genetic material on her underwear, which was found next to her body. A phone call spooked him into leaving before harming the children, as he had originally planned. In January 1978, Rader sent a poem called Shirley Locks to the Wichita Eagle about the murder. Nancy Fox, December 8, 1977. Just 8 months after Vian's murder, on December 8, 1977, Rader killed 25-year-old Nancy Fox. Fox was a single woman who worked 2 jobs and lived alone in a duplex. Rader had been stalking Fox for quite a while and selected a specific night to break in. He cut the phone lines, broke in through the back of the house, and waited in the kitchen for her to come home from her job at a jewelry store. When Fox arrived home alone, he confronted her at gunpoint and told her he had a problem and needed to tie her up. He allowed her to partially disrobe in the bathroom, then ordered her into the bedroom, where he tied her up and ended her life with a belt. Rader said he confessed to her who he really was and what he had done in the past as he was taking her life. The next day, on his way to work at ADT Security Services, Rader called police from a payphone. The recording captured him saying, "You will find a homicide 843 South Pershing, Nancy Fox." Police later said this call was really stupid because it left his voice pattern on record, though no one recognized it at the time. Marine Hedge, April 27, 1985. After nearly 8 years without a known murder, Rader killed 53-year-old Marine Hedge on April 27, 1985. Hedge was Rader's neighbor, living just 6 doors down from his family home in Park City. Rader broke into Hedge's home and strangled her. Hedge had spent the evening eating dinner and playing bingo with her boyfriend before returning home. After killing Hedge, Rader took her nude body to Christ Lutheran Church, where he was a prominent member and later became council president. At the church, he posed her body in various bondage positions and took photographs before dumping her body in a ditch along a dirt road. Her body was discovered 8 days later. Vicky Wegerle, September 16, 1986. On September 16, 1986, Rader murdered 28-year-old Vicky Wegerle. He dressed up as a telephone repairman and knocked on her door. Wegerle allowed him inside because she believed he was from the phone company. She was alone with her 2-year-old son when Rader pulled a gun on her and forced her to a back bedroom where he tied her up with leather shoelaces. According to investigators, Wegerle fought like a hellcat while Rader tried to subdue her. He choked her with a nylon stocking. DNA was later found beneath Wegerle's fingernails that matched Dennis Rader. After killing her, Rader took photographs of her body and stole her car. Police did not initially connect Wegerle's death to BTK until 2004, when Rader resurfaced and sent a letter to the Wichita Eagle that included photos of the crime scene and a photocopy of her missing driver's license. Dolores Davis, January 19, 1991. Dolores Davis, 62, became Rader's 10th and final known victim on January 19, 1991. Davis was retired and living alone in Park City. Rader waited for Davis to fall asleep, then broke through her sliding glass door by throwing a cinder block through it. When Davis confronted him, telling him he couldn't be in her home, Rader quieted her by threatening her with a gun, knife, and club. He later bragged about this, saying it was about the control factor. After strangling Davis, Rader dumped her body beneath a bridge. Several days later, a boy walking his dog discovered her body. Like Maureen Hedge's murder, this killing was not linked to BTK until after Rader's arrest in 2005. The capture, 2004 to 2005. After the 1991 murder of Dolores Davis, BTK suddenly went silent for 13 years. In January 2004, the Wichita Eagle ran a story marking the 30th anniversary of the Otero murders with the headline, BTK Case Unsolved 30 Years Later. Rader read the story, and because he was kinda bored, as he later told investigators, he decided to resume sending letters to local media. For the next year, he sent packages to the media or left items around Wichita, often using cereal boxes, possibly a reference to serial killer, to hold evidence. In January 2005, police received a break after recovering a cereal box that included a note in which Rader asked whether they would be able to trace a floppy disk he wanted to send them through a classified ad. Law enforcement officials indicated that it would be safe. When Rader sent the floppy disk, police discovered metadata from a deleted Microsoft Word document. The document was created at Christ Lutheran Church and authored by the church council president, Dennis Rader. DNA samples taken from Rader's daughter were matched to semen found at the first crime scene. On February 25, 2005, police arrested Rader while he was on his way home to have lunch with his wife. He confessed to the crimes and expressed shock that the police had lied to him about the disc being untraceable. In June 2005, Rader pleaded guilty to 10 counts of first-degree murder. 2 months later, he was sentenced to 10 consecutive life terms. Dennis Rader is currently serving his sentence at El Dorado Correctional Facility in Kansas. If this helped you understand the BTK case, hit that like button. Subscribe for more true crime explained simply. Thanks for watching.